Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. You're watching our coverage of the HUE 2022 Invitational Qualifiers. Right now we are playing in Rocket League as the team of Instinct, Gil, and Durtho are trying to secure their spot to the in-person finals in Rocket League, traveling all the way to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania if they qualify. We're looking forward to a lot of great play tonight. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Kobe D'Angelo Alloway, and it's great. We're at the beginning of the season, the first major tournament of the season, and an opportunity to see the talent of the players on showcase. Is there any particular player that we're looking at tonight?
So we're really hyped for all of the players right as we get into this, but we're particularly wanting to focus on Durtho because not only do we have some of his family in the arena and also just an all-around great guy, super hyped to be here, and we're super hyped to announce for him, but he even came to Boise State partially for academics, of course, mostly for academics, being a health science pre-radiology. So, I mean, really just the full package. But also looking for esports and trying to go pro. And so tonight will be a good debut of sorts. They definitely will be the player to watch, and we're going to see if they can rise to that challenge.
Yep, let's take a look overall at how things have been in the HUE 2022 qualifiers. There are a lot of teams competing right now, and only the top 8 are going to move on. So for the HUE Invitational, it's 3v3 soccer, best of 5, competitive maps, and a golden goal sudden death. Standard Rocket League, actually I have to make a correction, it's best of 7 in the HUE Invitational. And I was actually talking to Durtho the other day about that, and despite all the grief that we give on stage here to best of 7s, he actually enjoys them because it shows the endurance and how a player can go long term. So a lot of great teams competing in the HUE Invitational, but Boise State also has to do very well tonight because they started out with a match against University of Texas Arlington, which they're facing again tonight after this match. You're not going to want to miss it. But that team beat Boise State. So Boise State already has one loss in the packet. If they want to be in that top 8 teams, they got to run the table from Hill on out. And they're hoping to do that against Drexel is going to be our first match.
And Boise State really needs to come out and get this W if we want to go further in the tournament and if we want to be one of those super, super lucky 8 teams. And the player we're looking for to make all of that happen tonight is Durtho.
Well, no pressure, but we're specifically calling you out.
No pressure,
but, you know, if you want to live up to those expectations, then there's one person you got to ask for all of the information, and that is Doc, bringing us the keys to the game in a Rocket League. And those keys to the game are to set your play style, understand rotations, play to follow up, and, of course, employ those sweaty comms. Doc's keys to the game are brought to us by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. And just another look at the general lineups that we have. We said that this is Gil Instinct and Durtho coming in. We used to call this, well, this used to be the Gil lineup, Gil Instinct and Lions playing last semester, but Durtho was rotated in, so now it's the GID lineup, if you will.
All right, all right.
Yeah, just anything, you know, to help you remember. It's nice in Rocket League that we can actually form acronyms in terms. Actually, it would make more sense. It's the DIG. It's the DIG team.
The Dig Deep.
Yeah. Just, but it's nice as a mnemonic device and much easier to make into acronyms than it is for the Overwatch teams too, as well.
I mean, what are you going to do with 6 letters? I mean,
I know. All consonants. We need you to make a word 6 letters, all consonants. But like we said, we're just about ready to hop into this match. This is going to be live on stage. So the team, as you can see, is behind us, ready to log in. In fact, they give us a wave just there as just a little bit of a confirmation of what I just said.
And obviously, you know, the heart hands. You got to get back.
Yeah. Not just to us, but also, like you said, has some relatives here ready to cheer them on. And we always love that when we have in the arena to get people back in here cheering for the Broncos and their teammates. There's been such a tremendous support of family just coming in. That's the main thing that I think is different this semester is, like, we have matches that we aren't even broadcasting, and family will still come in. We'll get like 10 people from the same family ready to go. So it's just great, all the enthusiasm we're seeing here.
And as we see here, Durtho's going to be the first one in the ball. They will miss that first shot, but Gil's going to take it back, and that is an amazing assist. Boise State
brought out of the fight against some stuns here
Hopefully
into the back line, and Chime, he wants to battle
Yeah, what a great start there for the Broncos. We're going to be in the orange.
Boise State up 1-0 with 4 minutes and 49 seconds remaining. This is one of the fastest scoring games of Rocket League that we've had in a while going in, as Ultra for Drexel University currently has the ball, passes it right into Boise State. Both teams are kind of doing a little bit of passing back and forth, but think the ball is on Boise State's side of the court, so they have to play defensively.
Now Gil is going to face off against Dragon, who is able to stop the ball in midfield somewhat. Instinct is going to follow it up, keeping the play going. It's going to be centered up for Gil, who sees it, gets the second goal. Not even a minute in, Broncos already have a 2-0 lead.
There it is, Gil with the clutch goals. We're going in there. This time it was Instinct that set Gil up. Gil has been the follow-up for all of these amazing shots.
It's a great start for the Broncos. We'll see if they can continue. 3 goals in 1 minute. It's difficult to do, but we have seen the Broncos do it before. Right now, they're going to have to play a bit of defense as Drexel is going to ground the ball toward Instinct. Hobbs is unable to take the ball away. Ultra gets 1 tap on it. It's going to try to keep the play going for Drexel, but with no receiver, it's wide open for Durtho to receive it midfield. Let it for Instinct. Barron takes it away, and it's going to dribble it toward the goal. Gil has to defend, and it's just barely saved by Boise State.
And that came about because Drexel University had much more boost than Boise State there, so they were able to get down the field very rapidly, but now we're back into Drexel's side of the court, and Boise State is looking to get a goal here.
Yeah, that boost can be a major game changer. You're going to want to watch those bars on the side of the screen. If you haven't seen Rocket League before, that shows how much boost each player has. Those golden orbs you see on the play field fill up the player's boost. That allows them to make those crazy aerial acrobatic plays that we love and expect from the Broncos at this point.
And as we're going in now, things are into Drexel's University side of the court. Instinct looks like they might be setting up Gil. Midfield there, no. Barron is going to block both the setup and the shot, and now Boise State has to come up with something else.
Durtho is trying to do that as he's corralling it around the corner. Ultra with the pass over to Barron. Gil and Instinct both committing to that in midfield. Not quite what we want to see right there, but Durtho might just try to do it himself. Almost looked like he was able to get a goal there. He's going to be credited with a shot on goal. He's already doing major work for the Broncos.
So one of the things I was concerned about was amazing job, Durtho, there. I mean, that was not what I was concerned about.
No, nothing to be concerned about there.
But, I mean, getting a new team together, which Boise State kind of has this semester, like bringing in Durtho and rotating them in and out, sometimes you need to, like, adjust your play style, and you need to make sure your teammates are going to be there. And everybody's been there for Boise State.
Yeah, the communication has been so good for the Broncos. You can see there's usually a receiver for their passes, and that's what you don't want to see there. You saw that double commit from Drexel. If you see 2 people going for the soccer ball at the same time, kind of like that, although Gil's probably leaving it for Instinct, or you know what? I'm just not going to criticize if it leads to a goal and a hat trick on top of that.
An amazing job by Boise State. Gil is getting set up almost equally by both of the extra members on the team there for that goal, and an amazing hat trick. Drexel was not ready for that.
Already we're halfway into this match and an extremely big 4-0 lead for the Broncos. That's going to be very difficult for Drexel to make up here. They're going to try to, as they've had a fair amount of side control, but the pass over to Durtho, perfectly aimed, is going to be saved by Ultra, keeping it at 4-0, but the Broncos are hungry for more.
Barron and Ultra have definitely done a really good job on those saves there. Boise State would have an even bigger lead if they weren't there, as Instinct gets up the aerial play. Not quite able to set up the shot there, but Durtho's still doing some things on the side, seeing like what we can do. And Barron, we were just talking about them, sends it back to midfield, and then Boise State sends it back into Drexel's, almost in their goal there.
Durtho with the shot is going to go off the backboard. It's going to be left for Gil, who passes back over to Durtho, leaving it for Instinct. The give and go is so incredible for the Broncos, juggling it back and forth. Durtho also finding time to rotate back, keeping that ball away from the goal, and keeping the Drexel to just one big goose egg.
Almost gets that again. Durtho with that goal there, setting up other members of Boise State. Boise State is not out of this yet. You can see all 3 of their members kind of circling like sharks. This Drexel University goal there. And it looks like Barron is in the goal and Ultra. And Durtho's going to get that score there, despite all members of Drexel being around that goal.
Yeah, that's just great play. Durtho just able to kind of fake out Baron, play around Hops. Like, that is just a beautiful solo play showing off pure talent.
Playing the mind games there. That was some schmovement right there. He was back and forth, and Drexel wasn't ready. Boise State now up 5 to Drexel's nothing with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. This is getting progressively harder for Drexel to turn around the more these seconds tip down.
And Baron is going to get a demo onto Instinct, so trying to put kind of a damper onto Boise State's pressure in any way so far. But now that Boise State is fully respawned, Instinct's going to grab the boost, play it over Baron. It's down to Ultra in mid. He's going to dribble it up, play it around Durtho. Gil has to save and is able to find that. Great statement by the Broncos to keep it scoreless for Drexel. And just look at that.
Oh my gosh! Gil from across the field is just going to go ahead and yeet that in. Boise State is taking way more shots than Drexel at this point. Drexel needs to kind of get some shots on the board because Boise State has only really had to save from one threatening shot there. And as you can see, Gil's the one that did it.
You can just see Boise State's activity feed just filled up with shots on goal, whereas Drexel really only has some demos and a lot of saves, and good on them for getting those saves. You can see they have 5, but that just means Boise State has over 11 shots on goal, which is insane to think of how much the Broncos haven't let off the pressure since they started.
And and Drexel is kind of on the back foot there just because Boise State is being so aggressive. They really need to kind of turn it around, and one of the ways you can do that is winning the initial 50-50 after a goal here. But as we go into this final 5 seconds here, I don't think Drexel can turn this map around. I think it's a GG go next.
They're going to deny Durtho the hat trick just as a little salt in the wound, but still nothing much to complain about right now. Boise State is going to win, and just look at the stats there. 93% of the shots on goal in favor of Boise State. That is just a landslide no matter which way you look at it.
So you usually don't, like 60-40 is not necessarily bad if you are around that in the other two. But when you're 93%, if Boise State is making 93% of the overall shots, there's a significant problem with Drexel's aggression.
Yeah, 60 is kind of the break point. Anything below 60 kind of represents a close match, and then when you start getting 65, 70, you can pretty much say it's a landslide. You saw the lineup there that Boise State was in. You can actually look back here. They're in Boise State's group. I'm seeing Drexel, Grand Valley University, King University, and University of Texas Arlington, the one team that they're facing off later tonight that has bested the Broncos. So this could be a night of proving all sorts of things for the Broncos, and what a great play by everyone there. And I got to say, if it doesn't make it into the top 5, that solo play by Durtho, the U-turn around 2 members was incredible.
They weren't ready. I mean, theoretically, there were 3 members that could have stopped that shot, right? And Durtho just zigzagged around all of them, which is honestly exceptional, and we expect to see that in the highlight reel later, whether it's player of the game or the top 5 at the end of the match. But honestly, I think Gil is giving Durtho a run for their money for that player of the game win.
As we move into the second match, Boise State looking to make this a 2-0. It still won't be match point, though. The main thing Durtho told me about, the best of 7s is they've really proved, they separate the teams that can maybe get off to an explosive start to the ones that are consistently good. So we'll see if Boise State can keep that consistency. Right now, they're facing a few shots on goals that they managed to save, but Drexel looks like they might be alive here.
And as we go here, Boise State is up 1 in the fight right now. Now would be the time to try to make something happen, and we do, sending things over to Drexel's side of the court. It looks like Durtho was the one set up for the shot, just barely going to miss it off that crossbar at the top.
Durtho is now chasing it upfield along with Hobbs. Instinct plays it around Baron. Going to be looking to center it. Gil is waiting in the wings. Baron with 1 tap, but Durtho sees his shot, and precision strike puts the Broncos on the board.
There it is, the setup and then the follow-up. This time we see Instinct set it up, and then Gil is just there, and then we see Durtho fly through the sky and get that amazing shot on goal there. Boise State is really playing very cooperative.
Yes, and just like normal soccer, it's those shots in the corners that are just picture perfect that you love to see. Baron, though, is going to put a damper on Boise State's enthusiasm, equalizing it immediately.
So this game is definitely going much better for Drexel than before. Hopefully we're not going to see Boise State fall into the trap that you talked to Durtho about, which is teams having an explosive start but not being able to follow it up.
Yeah, a best of 7 really tests your ability to keep your mentals cool, not look too far ahead. You got to focus on each match as it happens. And right now, Instinct's trying to get this goal. And how did that still go in? I thought for sure that was saved.
Barely in the corner there. I didn't think Instinct was going to make it, but as we can see, Gil sets it up there. Instinct barely going to get it. The block was almost there, but almost is not enough here. And now Boise State is up 2 to Drexel's 1.
And now as we move forward, the next kickoff, Durtho was able to get the better of it, leaving it for Barron to try to find the clear.
So as we get back into this game, we are in Drexel's side of the court still. They haven't fully cleared onto the other side of the field, and right as I say that, it looks like they're trying to. They're setting up for a Boise State shot on the wall, and they're just gonna make it. No members of Boise State were there to stop that.
That's the second goal we've seen from Barron. Both of them have been really good kind of air redirects here, so might want to watch out for Barron as a star player. If he has the soccer ball and plenty of boost to make his plays, he can be a threat.
And now we are all tied up with 3 minutes and 39 seconds remaining here. It looks like Barron, honestly, they're doing some fantastic solo aerial play, and Boise State has not been ready for that the past 2 goals.
Yeah, it might be time to, see Barron having a big target on his back or trunk or whatever the car equivalent of that would be, as Durtho is going to whip on that one, unfortunately. Instinct and Gil trying to save. They were going to double commit on that save, so maybe a little bit of sloppiness that we're seeing from the Broncos here as they try to stay in the lead.
It definitely seems like last map was a warm-up map for Barron. We're seeing, it's the same player, but we're almost seeing 2 completely different players this map versus last map.
And the one match that Boise State lost against University of Texas Arlington, they won the first 2 matches, but UTA had a 4-win streak to make it 4-2. So it just shows how fast things can turn around. And speaking of turning around, you see this play by Gil over to Instinct. The communication is there. It's beautiful.
Ooh.
Ultra can't save.
Barron and Ultra were both just right there, ready to be on it, but they couldn't get there just in time, which are personally my favorite goals to see there, because if you'd just been a little bit closer, you could have made it, which makes for a great goal.
It can come down to a game of splits of microseconds and a game of pixels, but that's how it works out for Rocket League sometimes. Gil's going to be able to do a nice little block there, but it's not going to turn into a clear. Hobbs pelts a shot on the goal. Durtho is going to deny it, sending it past Ultra. And now watch for the offensive play being brought out here. Durtho is going to try to center it up. Instinct and Gil were almost moving in there, but they didn't quite like the angle they saw, so they're just going to slow play this and hang back for a while.
And it looks like Boise State is still juggling the ball around. Barron is going to take that, but hopefully Boise State, they have possession of the ball again. There are still shots to be made here, and it looks like Instinct's going to make one, but it will be blocked by Drexel University.
Hobbs and Barron both staying in the goal. Ooh, pretty unorthodox and not something you usually want to see, but it maybe shows the mentality of Drexel right now. They know Boise State are hungry for another goal, and Durtho is trying to dribble it into the goal again, but was just denied.
Aerial dribbles are beautiful to watch like that when it looks like Gil sets up the shot and is unable to get it. Drexel has been so on the defensive, they've been unable to make any offensive plays so far. This aerial play is insane by Durtho.
You saw those flips there. He just basically stopped all forward momentum he has to hang in midair.
Oh, yeah.
It's just insane. Durtho gets another shot on goal. Look at all the shots on goal that Durtho has right now. He's up to 7 just by himself.
There it is. Instinct coming in with that hat trick. Boise State was kind of circling the Drexel University side of the goal for like about a minute, and they were unable to score. So Instinct is finally going to bring a satisfying conclusion to that if you're a Boise State fan.
Still time for Drexel to even this up, though. They have to do it in just over a minute, and Barron looking for his own hat trick there off the kickoff. It's just a little bit wide of the goal, and now Gil with the counterattack is going to leave it for either Instinct or Durtho. It looks like it's Durtho rotating in. Instinct in mid, peppers it way above the goal, just going to let Waterfall it down, but it's denied. But Durtho there with the counterattack. He gets what he's looking for.
2 to 5. Now, 2 goals is pretty reasonable to expect in the final minute, 2 minutes here. 3 is starting to ask a little bit much. If Boise State scores another goal, I'm gonna go ahead and call it and say that Boise State will have this.
Yeah, you usually want the rule of thumb is 30 seconds for each goal.
Yep.
Right now, Drexel's at like 20 seconds, so they're very pressed for time here. This would be the proverbial nail in the coffin against the Broncos if they were to score one more. And just a little bit of a demo there onto Instinct. Now Durtho is going to get revenge. It's going to demo Baron. Unfortunately, in this game, you don't get empowered minions if you defeat Baron. They're just going to have to settle for another goal.
Boise State, there it is. I mean, there is still theoretically time for Drexel University to get those goals, but it's starting to become an impossible ask at this point. They might, and this is a best of 7, so they don't just lose here if they drop this map. It might just be time to mentally reset and GG go next.
Yeah. It's quite insane, though, to see how the Broncos, how evenly spread out this is. I mean, Gil is just a few more shots away from maxing out his own activity feed. And I only have to think the percentages at the end of this round might be even more crazy than we saw last round, because the Broncos in this final half have come alive. Hobbs is going to get one shot toward the goal there. It bounces off the front post. And Boise State with that clear and possibly goal, but Barron's going to deny it, get the second win. What an insane performance. You could see their coach on stage with them, I'm sure offering words of encouragement. But also you can count on coaches to put a damper on your mood by when you think you've got a great win, the coach comes in, "Oh, it was actually very sloppy, guys."
You can have a win that is sloppy, and a win is still a win, right?
Yeah.
So there isn't too much to be, ashamed of at this point. Boise State is up too in this HUE Fest. However, if you're a Drexel University fan, now is the time for your team to make a good play. This next matchup between Drexel and Boise State, I think, will be the most important map of the night.
We also have another look at the bracket here. As you can see behind me, we have it up on the monitor, just kind of confirming the group that Boise State is in against Drexel, King University, University of Texas Arlington, which they're also going to be going up against. But you've got a lot of other top-name schools. I mean, you see Northwood just waiting there in Group 3, always such an intense rival. Of course, Harrisburg themselves are a very great team. It's just Boise State, they got a lot to be proud of if they advance, but they'll be going up against top talent.
Oh, definitely. So if Boise State advances in this first group, that's great. It's a challenge, but after that, it's kind of like the mountain gets harder and harder to climb. Each one you have to go up.
But I mean, what a great experience it would be for Durtho. Just a month in and already he's traveling on the road for championships.
Oh, definitely. And that's what we're hoping for here tonight. That's what we're hyped for. That's what we brought him up for and talked to him before game. We really want good things for this Boise State team.
Right now, Boise State is trying to get back to the side control as Durtho is going to ground it around the corner, setting it up, but Barron is able to get it before Gil does. Now Hobbs is going to take a shot off the backboard. Can they waterfall it down? That's not the angle they want, and it gives Instinct the time to clear things out thanks to the demo, also in part to Hobbs. Boise State still looking for their clear.
This is really uncomfortable for Boise State because, just as I was saying, this is the most important map of the game. I think if Boise State wins this, it's almost a sure thing. I think if they lose this, the reverse sweep from Drexel University is very possible, and it's very uncomfortable that the ball has stayed on the orange side of the field for this long.
Yeah, the side control has actually, for the first minute, been in favor for Drexel, so they're making the first plays here. Boise State is looking for the counterattack, though. Gil centering it up. Durtho is not going to get the angle he wants. It goes up instead of down, and that allows Hobbs to maybe air dribble this toward the goal, but Gil with a deflect over the corner keeps it scoreless tied.
You got to take that ball away from Barron there, as Instinct's going to pass it right over Ultra with some fantastic aerials. Hobbs is going to barely guard that goal, and now this is what we like for Boise State, right? We're making shots on Drexel University's goal. Right as I say that, things go careening into the Boise State side of the field.
I mean, talk about a whole difference between last round and this round. Last round, Boise State was rolling over their activity feeds. Now, if you look at it, it's pretty barren so far. Both of these teams, and I will take the unintentional pun there, but that's great, due in part to plays from Barron, and especially Hobbs, who's been making some good plays as well.
I do have to say, last match was the map that it really felt like Barron came alive. It felt like, now it feels like Hobbs is the one that's kind of like, we're all warmed up now, we're ready to go in, which is kind of bad for Boise State in the most important map of the night.
But if you look at it another way, you don't want to just be handed a win. You want to go up against top talent to prepare you for the finals. So we'll see how Boise State does in this situation.
No!
Barron, the bicycle kick, it just trickles in, and Drexel takes the lead.
So Boise State, we really don't like that right now, right? Because this is the most important map of the series, and if Drexel's gonna turn it around, this is gonna be the map that they do that, because they have at least one other map that they can lose to have some room for error, right? But if they lose this one, they just have to pull off the perfect reverse sweep.
Well, things getting a bit chippy between these two teams, both trading demos. And look, Durtho trying to use the follow-up there, but it bounces off the crossbar again. That crossbar has kind of been Durtho's worst enemy throughout this game, being a key defensive player for both teams. Right now, Boise State again dealing with the side control, just struggling to clear things out.
Now we're back in Drexel University's blue. This is what we want to see for Boise State. Boise State, the three members are kind of passing it back and forth, looking for a shot on the goal, but Hobbs is all the way back there, and Barron is being aggressive in the Boise State orange and passing it back to Ultra. Durtho's going to go ahead and steal that, and we'll see what Boise State can set up. Ooh. Oh no! Barron just barely blocked that.
Hey, he already has 2 saves this round. But even then, there's probably a few more in there that the game just didn't credit him with. But look at Durtho. Oh, it's Instinct who goes. Durtho with the follow-up, trying to sink it in. What an angle!
Boise State tying it up in 1 minute and 38 seconds. These goals have taken a long time. Much longer than the previous maps that we've seen here tonight. So, Boise State has 1 minute and 38 seconds to make something happen. We really want to win this. It's pretty comfortable tonight if we do.
Gill with a bit of fancy aerial footwork right now is just going to let that head toward the goal. It's saved by Ultra. Instinct is going to knock it off to the side, prevent any goal being scored by Drexel. 50-50 in the air, going in favor of Hobbs. Instinct is going to take it away, though, and it's back toward Barron as we go back to kind of the ping-pongy gameplay. Unless Boise State takes a shot on goal here. They're trying to waterfall it down.
Oh my God!
Sneaks it in!
There it is! Now, Boise State theoretically just needs to play a good defense for 1 minute and 12 seconds. And considering that the first couple goals have taken more than 1 minute each, very winnable for Boise State. Definitely much closer than maybe we were expecting going into the first map, but Drexel University has more than come alive, and I think the longer this series goes on, the more they're going to put Boise State on the ropes. So we need to stop it here and now.
I mean, each game has kind of, gotten progressively better for Drexel. It was really only kind of in the second game, in the second half, that Boise State really ran up the score. It's been a whole lot more even in this third game. Now with just 1 minute left, it's still anyone's. Drexel looking to make their equalizer.
I want to say that Gill has been doing the most so far this game, not just because of the alkalouts, but because of all the rotation. And right as we do that, Ultra is going to tie it up. Boise State versus Drexel, tied 2-2 in under 1 minute left of the game.
And that's why you have someone on back post there. Instinct was trying to rotate in. Durtho rotated too far up the field. It's just if you don't have someone in that standard position to save, then the other team is going to punish you for that. So let's hope Boise State can clean it up. Durtho's going to try to drive it up the field, but only be credited with the bicycle kick.
Ultra's going to pass. There's not anybody there. Hobbs follows up a little bit too late. Ultra's trying to set Barron up for a goal there. Barron barely misses it. We love that crossbar right now. And the cost of the miss is now Boise State can gain possession of the ball. Instinct is here, coming to break the tie now, trying to set up their team. And Hobbs is just going to steal that. Durtho, now is the time to get schmoovsy. We've seen you dodge them before. We need you to do it again.
I like that word, schmoovsy.
Schmoovsy?
Schmoovsy.
He's got schmoovement.
Oh, that's a great line there. Don't stop using that.
This is a really stressful overtime because whoever gets this is just going to win. And this is the most important map for Boise State. Because again, like I said, the longer we're in this with Drexel, the more likely it is that Drexel's going to win. And if Boise State can win this, we put them in the position of having to reverse sweep, which is next to impossible in games that are this high level.
Instinct is trying to set it up. With one last shot there from Drexel, deflected it. Ultra with a shot on goal. It is wide though. Instinct now playing under Barron. Hobbs is going to toss it back up toward Barron. Gill and Barron, neither are able to find what they want in that 50. The ball uncomfortably close to the Boise State goal.
We're in the blue here now, though. Drexel, Boise State has an opportunity to make a play here. Both Hobbs and Ultra in the goal. Even Barron as their only real, like, viable scoring option right now. Is Instinct's going to take that and send it right back over to Barron, and then it's going to be taken back into the orange side of the field. Ooh, that was uncomfy right there.
A demo onto Barron might give Boise State the opening they need, but that was still a very well-placed shot on goal, and it seems for this overtime, it has been mainly Drexel that has been putting the pressure on the Broncos. So maybe some cracks in the armor forming for the Broncos right now. They want to keep this undefeated. They want to move on to match point, but Drexel's doing everything they can right now to deny that.
And everything they can has been match for match, blow for blow with Boise State right now. This is a close game. If the rest of the tournament is going to be like this, I don't know if we're going to make it.
I know, especially a very shaky double commit there from the Broncos. Not what we want to see. But Durtho is going to get just a minor redirect on that one. He's going to leave it for Gill. That's a great pass up the field. Can they play it around Barron? They can. It's Mike dribble into the goal here. Gill with the shot. It's just up and to the right. Is there a follow-up from Instinct? He whips on it though.
I could taste it. Oh my gosh. Hobbs could taste it. No. Barron's going to get that 3-2 against Boise State there. Barron kind of carrying with those goals. Not going to lie. He seems to be their most dominant scorer, whereas Hobbs seems to be the amazing defender.
I'm interested. I mean, look at that differential between shots on goal there, but really that's throughout the whole game. I think it was really that little over, I think almost 2 minutes in overtime that Drexel really came alive when it mattered the most. And you saw that overall Drexel actually, even though they had less shots on goal, they had the side control, which it was all them in overtime.
They also had more accurate shots on the goal as shown by their overall higher score. Now, this puts Boise State in a really, really interesting place because we are up several, right? But like we said, the longer we're in this with Drexel, the better they get. The scarier of a team they become. And because they won that map, they are not in the uncomfortable position of having to pull off a reverse sweep in a tournament here. So Drexel, honestly, they have a pretty good shot.
They certainly do, and it was the other match that Boise State lost against UT Arlington that had the same scoreline. Boise State won 2 games, and then it was in the third game things started to change around. So hopefully they're trying to defy history here. They're trying to get to that match point, put Drexel in that uncomfortable position of, okay, you can't make any mistakes from here on out. So we'll see if the Broncos can do that as we're ready to head into Game 4 very shortly here. And I also think we saw a little bit from the Broncos, just a little bit of too many double commits for my taste.
So there was a little bit of a breakdown in communication there that we see. Durtho, the only one with high boost on the Broncos, is going to go ahead and take that out. But now the Broncos are in an aggressive position. No. Barron is just going to score, though. We don't like that.
Yeah, well, but Drexel sure loves it. I mean, that's
definitely
great communication between Ultra and Barron. Just an extremely well-placed shot. Yo can't save it. And this is kind of what we were talking about at the very beginning, what Drexel was talking about the best of 7s. It's these games 4, 5, where things can really start to change around, and a team that maybe just got off to a very good start starts to have their will tested,
like
their skill tested.
And just like we were, it's funny that Durtho is the one that mentioned it, and now it is the team that Durtho is on that is having this problem that he described, right? Which is a team that comes out super dominantly and does an amazing job, but then all that kind of frontal explosion or whatever you want to call it, there's not enough power after that. Boise State needs to find that aggression again. Put Drexel on the back foot.
Durtho trying to find the clear, is going to leave it for Gill. Ultra chasing after that. Gill taking the corner boost away from Drexel. We'll see if they can make their play here. They can't. And now Durtho trying to get the redirect. We're just trying to center it up. Can they take the ball away from Barron? Durtho just barely managing to do that, but it's left for Hobbs in midfield. A lot of fighting in mid for control of the soccer ball right now, with neither team quite getting the victory that they want.
And Instinct is trying to set some things up now. Maybe Boise State. They pass it to Gill successfully, so we're seeing the Boise State trio go in, but Hobbs always always in that goal. However, it will be this time Ultra taking the steal, and now Boise State is on the defensive with Durtho kind of on that side in that goal right now. Baron setting up for the shot. We can't let him do that. Boise State's got to stop this.
Baron setting up again. It's going to be Hobbs who actually gets it. And everything has gone topsy-turvy in game number 4. Drexel now looking much like the Broncos did at the beginning.
Definitely here. So I think the key that the Broncos need to do here, so we were talking about how to deal with a very aggressive enemy team. And one of the ways that you can kind of halt aggression is by winning the 50-50, which Boise State has done so far. We just need to keep that aggression on and kind of try to put Drexel University on their back foot, even though they are up 3.
It only takes 1 goal to turn your fortunes around, but that's a pretty good clear there, and Baron continues to move up the field, picks up the boost, gets demoed. Is the follow-up from Hobbs still going to be enough? Hobbs is going to pass it back to Ultra. They're going to have one more chance of getting this, and Baron is now fresh off the respawn, hungry for revenge, but the shot isn't going to go through. Boise State just getting a little bit more time to clear.
I do think that the demo onto Baron was huge. I think Baron would have scored there if Boise State didn't get that demo.
Oh, Durtho.
Durtho almost gets it there, but Hobbs always in that goal, always ready for Boise State here. Durtho trying to pull some movement, going to Instinct for help. Fantastic clear by Drexel, and now Boise State has to be on the defensive. Somebody demo Baron. I think that's a valid strategy right now when they're setting up to score.
Right now they're going to be chasing after, well, they demo Hobbs, you know. Baron is actually taking Hobbs' place as goalie. Can he do it? Get back to turn this around.
All right, okay, so we have a 2-step plan for success right here, Jeff. Step 1, when things get over to your side of the court, determine who's the most likely to score. So far, it's been either Baron or Hobbs. And then you just demo them, and then you're safe. And then the next step of the plan is you take that advantage and you go with it. And we need Boise State to do that 3 more times in 2 minutes and 21 seconds.
Well, they just got to focus on we'll go to the time, but they have a pretty good time bank to work with. It's just going to slip in there.
This is the Boise State we were looking for. Boise State, 1 goal after another. It seems like, for the time being, we have successfully circumvented Drexel's high aggression play style, and now it's Boise State that has Drexel on their back foot. We need to do that 2 more times.
Instinct is going to try to air dribble this down, right down toward Hobbs, who actually gets credited with a save there. But Durtho stopping it in midfield, back towards Gill, making the play off the backboard, double commit on the save. Is there a follow-up rotating in his Instinct? He's just a little bit too late though, and so the Broncos can't quite score the equalizer, but they're going to keep trying to do so.
As we see here, things are still in Drexel University's side of the court. Durtho, Gill, we have an opportunity to do something here. Instinct is kind of getting some boost and then coming back. Durtho and now Hobbs, the 2 with the highest boost on the board right now. You're looking to them to be your big playmakers as that ball gets passed right over to Instinct. Now back together in the main, and there is the score! They're unable to stop it. Now, with 1 minute and 33 seconds, this is one of the most important parts of the game.
It is.
Because they went up that massive lead, and now Boise State is the aggressor.
And it was exactly kind of in these final minutes where Drexel did so well last game.
That's my point exactly. It is not time to relax if you're Boise State, because Drexel gets better the longer.
Downtown Gill!
The hat trick! There it is! Okay, now you can relax a little bit. To be honest, a goal in 1 minute is kind of a tough ask when you're the team that's on the defensive right now.
I would still love to see an insurance goal be scored here. They're both never going to try to cheat off the kickoff. Both of them are not going to find it. Instinct winning that 50-50. That is so crucial what you were talking about, D'Angelo. It leads to a shot on goal. But Boise State is still going to stay in the lead. As long as they can keep side control, they might win this.
Boise State just needs to play the defensive game right now, and that was something we couldn't really do before, and it looks like we're not going to be able to do that again. I mean, Boise State defense, not our MO. Aggression, definitely. And so, with a tie game and 1 minute left, now would be the time to hit the gas pedal, if there ever is one.
I just love the moments where things are so perfectly timed. I don't know how it happens over and over again, but You couldn't have asked for a more perfect timing than that. Something we weren't able to do in the past, and apparently not right now, too. But maybe Boise State can give Drexel a taste of their own medicine.
No,
almost.
not quite. Hobbs, I need you to stop.
I mean, look at Hobbs. He has 4 saves right now, and Barron has 3. That's 7 total saves for Drexel University. And I doubt Boise State wants to enter overtime again. They want to get back in the lead, and they have just over 30 seconds to do so.
In these two teams, what we've seen so far is that Drexel is more likely to win the OT. So Boise State has 30 seconds. They really need to make a play.
Oh.
Barron is the block this time. It's so close. Boise State still has a little bit of time, though, and considering all 3 members are passing back and forth, Drexel really doesn't have the opportunity to do anything but defend right now.
Just 10 seconds left. Boise State has the side control, but will they be able to get one on 7? Go kill!
Yeah! You watch the goal from midfield. You see the enemy cars, and you're like, he's not gonna get there. Beautiful goal by Gil. A real buzzer beater if we've ever seen one here on a Boise State cast.
It is not quite over yet, though. 6 seconds left. How does this kickoff go? Slightly in favor of the Broncos. I like to see that, but look at the shot from Hobbs here. Durtho is going to rotate back. Most importantly, gets possession of the ball, grounds it when he needs to. And Boise State eking out the win there against Drexel. I would say the computer's lying to us right now. It does not. That makes it look like it's a Boise State sweep, and this game was anything but.
Honestly, what that tells me right now, 75-25 with a 4-5 score, that tells me that Drexel is just taking better shots, whereas Boise State is taking more of them. And I do have to say that Hobbs, I think, is the most defensively oriented player on both teams. So I do think that is part of what's bringing Boise State's accuracy down here.
Sure. Yeah, but Drexel has been insane on the amount of saves that they can get. But now the Broncos have brought themselves to match point. We're at game number 5. So theoretically, they have 3 chances now. It's like we're playing baseball now. You get 3 strikes.
So 2 maps ago was the most important map for Drexel. The next map that we're going into is obviously the most important one for Boise State. Drexel has made their one mistake. They've dropped that map, right? Now they have the gargantuan pressure of having to pull off the reverse sweep if they want to win tonight. But if you're Boise State, you've got, like I said, 3 strikes.
Yeah.
This isn't, I wouldn't call it over yet. I think within the first 2 minutes,
sure,
it'll be pretty clear who's going to get something out of this.
Well, the last thing I would want from Boise State to be is complacent right now, because Drexel is like the overtime last-minute team if there ever was one. But Durtho stepping up with the goal. Forget the first 2 minutes. How about the first 5 seconds?
I mean, he's got more time to do that. I mean, we would love that.
One other thing I have to say here is Gil and Instinct have both gotten hat tricks. Durtho's the only one who doesn't have a hat trick. We were talking about how he has to prove himself. No, he had 2 goals, I think, in the first few rounds.
He schmoozed around the entire enemy team. I think that counts as a tricky goal.
Well, hopefully it will be hats all around for the Boise State team. Not that everyone's counting here. We just want to win.
And it looks like Boise State is set up pretty well to do that. Though I would not advise playing defense for 4 minutes and 33 seconds, especially because it's been our weak suit.
Not just because, it's our weak suit, but just for my sanity and health right now. Let's build up a few insurance goals here.
So it looks like Gil is trying to set up things, get things on Drexel University's side of the court. Durtho setting it up, just barely going to go wide there. Now Barron has the ball. Someone demo this man, otherwise he's going to score on Boise State.
Very crucial. Hobbs misses that. Durtho wins that 50. That's a crucial one to win, as Instinct is now going to pass it up the field. Boise State trying to get it in. It's just going to trickle in.
Instinct is going to get it. Hobbs just went a little bit too far. You can see the exact moment where Instinct touched the ball and Hobbs was too far forward to do anything to stop him there. Fantastic job done by Boise State. Now sweeping 2 to Drexel's 0, but 4 minutes is a lot of time to score 3 goals for Drexel.
I know, and it has been 3 goals that has mainly been the one that teams have shown that they can make up. So anything more than 3 goals, now Boise State has had it.
I mean, we're just going to keep going. Boise State is back on their aggressive play style, right? It's what they're good at. And especially when you reset into a new game like this, there's no reason not to play aggressive, especially when it seems like Drexel University is not completely prepared for it.
Instinct with the shot from mid. Gets pushed down. Baron right in the corner defending Durtho with the follow-up. But soccer rules still apply. That ball has to be all the way past the goal line for it to count. It can be 99% across, but if there's 1 pixel still on the goal line, it doesn't count.
As we see here, Baron gonna try to get that full pixel in that Boise State goal. Will be stopped there. Now it is Durtho making the shot. Is unable to get the double bounce off of the crossbar there. You can see the faces of gamer concentration there playing on the stage.
Durtho with the shot from mid is going to play it off himself with the redirect toward the goal, setting it up for either Gil or Instinct. Gil's actually going to long play it and take the boost away from Drexel. It's kind of generally starved them of their resources. Now Durtho moves in, trying to center it up, but the ball shot is just too narrow. Boise State might not get a goal, but they might get one here. But Instinct just has too many players to play against.
And not enough boost to go completely aerial like they wanted to there. Now Baron is in the orange, which is something Boise State fans should be very concerned about, even as he transitions back into the blue, trying to stop that Boise State long pass going in. Now Instinct is in. Instinct is going to get the demo onto Baron, but that doesn't mean a whole lot when you're defending.
No Baron buff here, but right now Hobbs trying to get the goal to turn it around for Drexel.
Good.
Almost does so, but a key save by Durtho, and turn that save into a goal. Durtho gets it!
The save and then the goal! I mean, we don't need hat tricks, but amazing plays like this are exactly why we wanted to highlight Durtho tonight, because we knew that there were a player capable of this, and we love to see it.
2 minutes, 22 seconds left in Boise State, leading 4-0. These are the insurance goals I wanted to see.
If you're Drexel, you get more uncomfortable with every second that passes. There it is! There's the hat trick! There's the Durtho hat trick. Now everybody's done one. There it is. Ask and you shall receive there, Jem.
He needed to prove himself. Not that I wasn't down. I mean, he was an insanely player coming in to the tournament already, but still, in the game, Boise State needed to win it all. He pulls off the hat trick. Boise State now with a 5-0 lead, looking good.
If you're Drexel, you get more uncomfortable with every second passing, because 5 goals is already a tough ask for 2 minutes. I mean, Boise State did it, but that is a rarity here, and especially 6. If you're Drexel, you're definitely struggling with some mindset issues right now, because being down 6 and needing 7 goals to win, that's a tough place to be in mentally. So we'll see if Drexel will be able to find it within themselves to take out Boise State.
It could just be one clear that leads to one play, leads to one goal, and that's what Drexel has to focus on right now, just one at a time. But Boise State with the side control, another shot on goal. Not going to be found there as Hobbs saves that, and Drexel clears it up the far side.
It looks like we now are in Boise State's side of the field here. Instinct is trying to take that away very quickly. Durtho's gonna, that is a clean shot. I think Ultra can, there it is. You see it in the midair, you can see the cards, and you're like, I don't think they're gonna get there. And Durtho just fantastically scores from almost halfway across the field.
7-0, I would most assuredly say this is in the favor of the Broncos right now. 7 goals in 90 seconds, I just don't see it happening. You'd have to get some right off the kickoff here. Right now, Boise State just needs to let that timer be their best friend.
And I would suggest for Boise State to just play defensively to win, but obviously we're better at the aggression here right now.
Yeah, okay, you know, this is something we don't often see. Do you think they go double digits?
I hope they do. I would be thrilled if they did. But I do think it is a reasonably tall ask to score 2 goals in 1:12. Though I think now might be the time Drexel starts to fall apart, down 8 in the final minute.
Almost a 5th goal for Durtho. This is the point. The Broncos have no intent of quitting right now. Hobbs trying to pass it toward the goal. It's denied, and Durtho another shot on goal, and it's banned.
So if you're Drexel, right, things can't really get... So I understand the thinking here, right? Not leaving a ton of people back for defense, because as you can see, Hobbs was completely out of the goal there. Because when you're down 8, now 9, you really just need goals, and there's not much defending can do for you anymore.
Yeah, you got to take your goalie out, put an extra person on the field, so to speak, and...
I mean, as we can see, Hobbs was carrying on that goalie.
That was just rude. I mean, look at that. Baron is trying to salvage what's left of that, and Ultra actually going to be an own goal against Drexel. Wow.
I mean, you asked for the Boise State double digits, as you can see here. I mean, we're feeling pretty good on the stage. We're feeling pretty good on the cast. Boise State now is on the defensive, so, I mean, but with 33 seconds, there's a lot of padding Drexel has to get through.
Yeah, there's even more right now. Durtho, double hat trick. Wearing 2 hats, one on top of the other right now.
Several members of Boise State are doubling up on hats there tonight, and more than doubling up on goals in this match against Drexel.
Well, we have just 30 seconds left in this fight.
Definitely do have to say there, Baron setting up for the goal on Boise State. If anybody can do it, it's going to be Baron. But at this point, that goal would just kind of be a feel-good goal, so you don't have a big 0 there.
I think it might still be a 0. It's 11-0 in favor of the Broncos. What a landslide when they needed it. That ball just has to hit the ground. Durtho's keeping it up in the air. Trying to spike it, it grounds itself. But man, what a spectacular game for Boise State to win it 4-1 against Drexel.
This is what we love. Hitting the double digits while the enemy team is still 0. If you're a Boise State fan like we are, you're having a great time. If you're on the Boise State stage right now, you're having a great time.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're here to cheer on Durtho, an amazing time, because what a stellar performance from all the members of Boise State.
And hugs all around.
Oh, definitely.
What a great, I mean, a game or 2 ago, it felt completely different.
Definitely.
Drexel had all the momentum. Wow, what a great, and you see Durtho there with Gil and Instinct waving to family members. What a great victory for the Broncos. But we're not done here tonight. We have another game after this versus University of Texas Arlington. So can Boise State get the win against the team that they face off against? We're going to find out soon. But right now, we have a player of the game, which I don't want to say we've been foreshadowing the entire time. But, you know, production does like to kind of prank us like that sometimes.
I'll say it then. I'll commit to the Durtho. Let's go. I mean, he's the player we're really here to highlight, right? He's new on the Boise State team, trying to go pro. I mean, could easily be Durtho, and it looks like it's going to be Instinct, which, I mean, played amazing as well. We're super proud of you.
It's not that he doesn't deserve it, but that is the greatest troll I have ever seen from production here.
Fantastic.
Even when he's playing, Durtho still contributed to that goal there, though. So Durtho's still trying to find a way to sneak in there.
Well, on the flip side, Instinct also was a part of...
Durtho. They faked us out.
I do have to say, though, Instinct as our first player of the game, right?
Sure.
We got to give the dude some credit because Instinct was part of most of Durtho's goals as well, right?
Sure.
I mean, Boise State was really firing on all cylinders, which, I mean, is fitting that we have 2 players of the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, the player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. Durtho is your ICCU player of the game. Like I said, it's just starting out for us tonight. We have another match, University of Texas Arlington. We're showing up next. We'll take a quick break and be back with more action, so you are not going to want to miss it.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. You're joining us for our coverage of the HUE 2022 qualifiers. We are facing off against University of Texas Arlington now, and Boise State still needs to run the table and wins here if they want to secure that top 8 spot and move on to the in-person finals in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, still joined by Colby D'Angelo Alloway. So this is the team that, we're talking about tonight. Boise State already losing to this team twice. So the key question we are going to want to ask is what's going to be different tonight?
All right, so first of all, this is the second time we've lost to them this week, by the way. That is just this week. Yeah. This is not overall times Boise State has lost to them. So this might be a bit of a controversial or a hot take, but I think Boise State, if we play like we just did, which is the key there, right? Which is aggressive, going in, not giving them an opportunity to reset up. I think Boise State can take it. And the difference there, I think, is in the mindset of the players and generally in the energy around the stadium. Like we were talking about earlier, people are feeling great. Like you were watching them on the stage, hugs all around. A fantastic victory if you're a Boise State fan. 0 to double digits. Things are going great for Boise State right now. So now is definitely the time to keep it rolling. Or, if you're an Arlington fan, you'd really like the hype train to crash and burn. But we're not here for that.
Yeah, we're going to see how Boise State does. One of the ways that they can ensure, though, that you can have a performance like that is going to be following Doc's keys to the game in a Rocket League, and that's going to be to set your play style, understand your rotations, play to follow up, and, of course, employ those sweaty comms. It's all brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. We're ready to head up against University of Texas at Arlington now. We're just about ready to hop into the first game and see if the Broncos can make quite a statement here. It's going to be the battle of the horses, it looks like, actually, here. So, yeah. We have the state fair going on right now, too. So it's like there's horses competing all around. Yeah.
So, as we get into the Boise State versus UT Arlington matchup, there are two things that I really want to focus on in sweaty comps that I want to hear screamed across the arena, which is press W and make sure you're not double committing. So, the I got it or I'm after it.
One thing I just noticed right off the bat here is you see adverse Nava and Samba. It really just proves what we were talking. Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to keep that thought right now kind of locked up. We'll talk about it between games because right now UT Arlington off to a big start.
That's not what Boise State wants. Boise State needs to be the initiator. We need to be the aggressor. Otherwise, it's just going to turn out like the other 2 times this past week. If you're Boise State, you're uncomfortable right now. We need to do something.
Gill is going to steal it away from UT Arlington. Now trying to move it back up the field. Nava trying to find the clear there and might be able to play around. It's just going to dribble it up.
Oh my gosh.
Just barely denied.
No! They almost had it twice. Instinct and Durtho. Thank you. And because we successfully defended, we get to take things into UT Arlington's side of the court. Crossbar coming in, being a fantastic goalie there, but we still have a shot. Nope, that shot is going to go wide there. Gill still juggling it in the air. Durtho, we have a chance to make a play. Nava's trying to stop it. That demo will come out, and now Boise State has migrated back on the defensive, which is not what we want. UT Arlington is doing a great job of not letting Boise State be aggressive.
Okay, so it's actually the University of Texas Arlington. It's the Mavericks. So the Broncos versus the Mavericks. And also their mascot's name is Blaze. So we got Buster and Blaze battling it out right now.
Well, I would like Blaze to not blaze a path to victory here right now.
Yeah, let's throw some water on that.
Throw some water on that. Fantastic.
Right now, Boise State is doing their best. They're still trying to find their first goal here. Durtho, a shot from downtown. He's going to have to keep working by himself because Instinct just got demoed, you see. But Gill down with the shot on goal, almost getting it, but it is just a bit too high and bounces off the crossbar.
So it does feel like UT Arlington, while they're rotating back to the goal, their defense isn't quite as rock hard as the last map was. So I do think Boise State, the biggest thing that they need to improve right now is the accuracy of their aggressive shots.
Well, we're almost halfway through the first match, and the Mavericks still have a 1-0 lead, and a risky back pass there off of your own backboard. Boise State doing whatever they can to try to find a clear here, but it has been all Mavericks for this first half. Look at the differential in shots on goal, 6-2 in favor of the Mavericks.
Somebody needs to demo Samba. Like, honestly, I think that's been one of their big players. I mean, Adverse too, of course, with the most shots and forcing Durtho, Gill, and Instinct all to have saves here. And Boise State, they got to save again. Because if we go down 2-0 in the final 2 minutes of the game, I would call that for UT Arlington.
2 minutes left for Boise State to try to score. They have the side control, but they're not going to be able to center it thanks to Samba. Durtho with the pass back to Gill. It's going to go back over to Durtho, and that is banged beautifully. The defense from UT Arlington has been steadfast thus far.
Boise State's still in it, though. We're still in UT Arlington's territory. Gill is getting ready to rotate in there, pass to Durtho. Instinct coming back to get that defense there, but the members of UT Arlington are, again, circling like sharks, and that demo's going to help a little bit there, but Boise State still needs to have a fantastic defense, and it looks like we did as we get that clear. We're going over to the blue side of the court. This is what you're looking for if you're Boise State. Now is the time to turn things around. We get a goal now, and I think we'll beat them.
Gill with the pass. He's going to try to center it up for Durtho here. Durtho might just play it himself. Look at how that banged.
Not quite there, Boise State. They missed their golden window of opportunity to make something happen, and now as the timer gets lower and lower, Boise State gets more and more uncomfortable. Ooh.
Well, maybe that was the actual golden window they were looking for there.
Sure.
Durtho gets the goal, the equalizer, stepping up for the Broncos. He's after another. It just bounces off the crossbar, but the Broncos now tied with the Mavericks.
And now UT Arlington has kind of been put on their back foot, right? Boise State went almost 5 minutes without scoring. And now in the final 30 seconds, we're tied 1-1. Somebody's got to do something, and right now UT Arlington is the aggressor, but Instinct is gonna get that clear, and Adverse can't get there in time, but it's just barely gonna go wide. Again, the accuracy of these shots for Boise State are just barely lacking.
Durtho now is gonna pick up his own boost. Try to go up against Nava, plays it around him. Samba back to midfield, wins the 50 against Gill, and a demo onto Instinct. This could be bad. Durtho! Oh, just a clutch save.
Durtho saving us here as we see we're still tied up 1-1. I mean, that's not a loss, okay? I mean, we're here, we're going extra.
This is what you have to realize about soccer. When you're playing professionally as well, when the timer runs out, there's always bonus time that gets added at the end there. So the end is never the end when it comes to either real soccer or car soccer.
As we go in here, Boise State, this is the opportunity we were looking for, though, right? We gave ourselves this opportunity in the final minute, and now it's time to do something with it. Somebody's got to block that Samba shot, though. It looks like it was blocked successfully, but now Nava is the time going in. It is Instinct going all the way into the blue to stop that shot. Samba and Nava passing each other back and forth here. Boise State needs to get control of the ball. Otherwise, they'll just circle forever, and eventually UT Arlington will score.
First shot is wide. Look out for Nava here. Durtho gets the save when he needs to. Instinct from way downtown. They rounded it up too far. Boise State gets it.
That's what we're looking for. So the thing with that was really uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie to you. And not just because of the tie, but also because in the overtime, right, the longer they're circling your goal with all three of their members going in, passing things back and forth, the more likely they are to score. So as you see that overtime timer ticking up, you know, like with every second that goes up, and we're still in Boise State's side of the court, it is more likely that UT Arlington will score. So Instinct got that big clear and gave Boise State the opportunity they needed, because everybody on UT Arlington was still in Boise State's territory and nobody could rotate back in time.
Well, it looks like we got a real barn burner on our hands for this one. It just being decided by one goal. One thing I also wanted to point out, because this is going back to the interview we've had with Durtho, and it's really kind of proven with this team that we're setting up here. Notice you've got Samba, Nava. It really is true. As you go up the skill ranking, the names get simpler. You know, they're just simple to say, one-syllable names. It's only when you really get down to the amateur that you see, you know, all the symbols, the letters in the name. You know, it's...
Are you calling out Adverse and Instinct?
No, I'm not calling.
The only ones with 2 syllables?
No, I'm saying the ones, the gamer tags that have 5 syllables, the gamer tags with their Twitch handle in there, follow me on TikTok, you know, all that kind of stuff, the whole shebang. And sometimes less is more.
TTV. Well, I mean, you know, less is more right now for UT Arlington. They scored a goal. Boise State back in the position of playing catch-up.
Well, they're not going to have to catch up anymore.
Absolutely not.
Very quick in equalizing that.
We like this, though, because Boise State won the OT, and now things are tied up. Things are not tied up anymore.
It is back and forth in the most literal sense of the word.
Okay, but people are scoring more, right? And that's actually a good thing for Boise State. We don't want it to go as long as it did before.
Durtho is going to try to do that. He's unable to. Yeah, no, he's unable. Kind of reset there and just kind of nudge it into the goal. So they're going to have to try again. Durtho's going to run right into Nava. Gill setting it up for Durtho, just off the crossbar.
Just barely. The accuracy on Boise State is lacking by, I would say, about 5%. Because we see some of these beautiful shots, some of these beautiful setups that just barely go wide or hit the crossbar or do all of these things other than score.
Gill setting it up, Samba at the last moment, but there's the follow-up from Durtho to get the Broncos back on even footing with the Blaze.
And this is a much higher scoring game than before. I mean, I know I touched on it, but we're 3 minutes and 45 seconds in, and we've scored more than the entire game last match.
There you go. Mavericks are now going to fall to 1 goal behind.
Good.
And now Boise State, can they maintain that lead? History is any indication, though, in a play from Nava here, that might not be the case. Boise State is able to save it. And now Instinct with the pass over to Durtho, just solo.
Fantastic. Doesn't need the pass. Honestly, that was pretty risky. There were members of UT Arlington right in front of Instinct, but they didn't punish, and so Boise State goes up 2.
Waiting for the next play from the Broncos. They have a slight insurance goal, but are they going to go try to get one more? Samba way back on the field, unable to find it. It does turn into a clear, but Durtho answering that back very quickly is going to push it to a midfield fight. Or Broncos having to save here. Watch out for Adverse, setting it up for Nava, but it's not a goal, and Instinct is going to have plenty of time to clear that out.
After if another minute passes with no goal being scored, I would typically advise Boise State to play defensively, except they're much better aggressively. So I really do think that hitting the gas pedal to the max is the answer for all 5 minutes of this match.
Look out for Samba, though. That's the goal you were talking about. And you didn't want it scored in the next minute, but it has been scored. And now Boise State in a much more precarious spot.
Boise State doesn't really have much of a comfort goal right now because they score another goal and you're tied. But if Boise State scores another goal, they kind of have a little bit of padding there, and things are on UT Arlington's side of the field, which is exactly what we're looking for. Right as I say that, Adverse gets the clear, Instinct is going to volley it back, but there's 2 members in the goal, and I don't think Boise State is quite that tricky. We'll see if they can prove me wrong.
Nava playing around Durtho. No, has to run right into Durtho, excuse me. Durtho's going to play that back. Instinct and Gill moving up the field in the passing lanes. They're going to center it, but Samba has such control of that, they're going to have to slow play this and wait. Gill to try to deny the clear, but Samba redirecting in the air gets the clear back for UT Arlington. It's answered back by the Broncos. Now Instinct has the opportunity here. He's going to set it up for Durtho, and it goes way back toward Gill. And the Broncos going to have to wait a little longer for their goal, or maybe they try to score one here. Doesn't look like it.
Not all 3 members were there juggling the ball back and forth. Somebody rotated back to protect the goal, which is understandable, but stops Boise State from really keeping it on their side of the field. And, you know, maybe that was the wrong play there. Maybe somebody falling back actually didn't end up helping Boise State in the end.
Well, now it is all even again. Demo in midfield on to Nava. Maybe that gives the Broncos the time that they need, but at first,
not quite.
Threat for
Oh,
Broncos. Gill with the save.
That was terrifying, I really must say.
Oh, talk about
Stop.
terrifying!
Stop it! The bounce has saved Boise State. That's 3 times now in the past 30 seconds? UT Arlington almost scored, but the ball just bounced. Boise State needs to get it clear now, because the longer these people are here, the more likely it is that they're going to score.
Pop
There's
off
the
the
clear.
roof there. Yeah, that would indeed be the clear that we're looking for. Maybe a shot on goal here from Gill, and the follow-up from Durtho isn't going to be found. Instinct now has to try to prevent the clear.
No! Nobody's there!
Oh,
I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. That was saved by the inaccuracy of the UT Arlington shot. Nobody in Boise State could have gotten back to that.
Samba was definitely trying to clear out the goal by trying to demo Durtho. It's just going to be Instinct and Gill working together, but Gill is unable to follow up. Durtho off the respawn. Almost gets a goal. Now we're down to just 15 seconds left. We're overtime.
It looks like we're going into overtime again, honestly. Even as Boise State, even as UT Arlington is kind of trying to set up to like pass back and forth around Boise State's goal, they get the clear. If Boise State can do something here, we win. Otherwise, OT.
Does look like it's probably going to be overtime. Instinct, yeah, he's just going to go for the overtime completely.
All right, and if this match is anything like last match, Boise State, the overtime is actually good. We're happy with this. The more this timer goes up, the more likely it is that Boise State will win if we're going by the past match.
The Mavericks are playing out of their minds, though. They had a 2-goal rally to tie this up. Now the Broncos are after answering that back, and there have been plenty of way too close for comfort moments right now with the Mavericks and their shots on goal.
I need them to stop. Boise State does look like they're pushing in here. Try to right on over to UT Arlington's side. No, it looks like we're playing in the midfield right now. UT Arlington stopped us. Now things are over in the orange, which is making Boise State really uncomfortable. 40 seconds and climbing. This is longer than last overtime, so it's really, we can't use last game as a reference point anymore.
Well, we're almost a minute into overtime. Durtho's going to answer that back in midfield. Samba beats him to the boost, which means Durtho doesn't have any right now. That could put a damper on the Broncos' plans. A demo right onto Samba there. Is that going to clear out the goal? Boise State sets it up. Durtho misses though. It's up to Gill.
Just barely. Gill looks like they're actually setting it up back to Durtho. And now things clear back over in the Boise State side. No! Instinct wants to clear. Instinct wants to press the gas pedal and get it to UT Arlington, but it's not to be right now as Boise State is put on the defensive. No!
Watch out for the
Don't
shot.
do it!
Almost. Look, he's almost, not only has he rolled over his count in turn, but it's almost completely filled up with shots on goal right now.
Ooh.
But
Everybody.
maybe a demo adverse if he's the one making the plays.
Neither of these teams are playing very defensively. Both of them are like hyper-aggressive all the time, which is why we're seeing them go so even with each other. But lots of these shots are just barely coming for it. I think the team that can add a little bit of accuracy is going to be the one that wins.
Oh man, that was hitting right on the edge, and one final play there to get it. What a close match. I mean, Boise State, they're technically in the lead now, 2-0. But what they've had to do to get there.
So, okay, usually when you see 2-0, you think, yeah, somebody's rolling, right? Absolutely not. That is absolutely not what's happening here right now. But it does kind of give us something good to go off of for Boise State, because usually we just have gotten rolled by them these past couple of weeks, right? But now we've turned things around in overtime twice. And so this next map, I think, will be able to prove whether or not those first two were like flukes, or you could call it lucky. If Boise State wins the third one, there's nothing but skill there. And there's nothing UT Arlington can say other than Boise State played better.
Yeah, and UT Arlington, this is where they had their comeback. One of the times that they beat the Broncos in the past week.
I don't want the comeback, so I'm really hoping Boise State stopped the comeback in our previous matchup, So I'm hoping they can do it again here.
Instinct is going to answer the shot by Samba. Again, uncomfortable spot for the
I don't like
Broncos,
it.
thanks to Adverse.
Adverse is really stressing me out as a player on UT Arlington there, which is good for them. Boise State is going to take it over into UT Arlington side of the court. No, they're not. That's a joke. I'm sorry. Adverse is going to take it over to Boise State. Pass right to Samba. But Boise State is in there disrupting.
Way back toward Boise State's goal. Durtho with a pass up to Instinct on the field. He's actually going to play it himself up the wall. Gil is demoed. That means it's only Instinct right now, and they're just going to slow play it, wait for Gil to respawn. Double commit on the save there.
Oh my gosh!
Proves almost disastrous for the Mavericks.
Barely almost there. Boise State, though, I will say, has been improving the longer these matches go on. Boise State is learning as UT Arlington and them play.
Back across the midfield stripe. Boise State is going to claim that. Try to center it. No follow-up, though. Gil is waiting. It's over to Durtho. And they win the 50.
Almost.
Samba. Clutch save.
Called it wrong. I thought Durtho was going to get it there, honestly.
He gets it there.
Gets it there. I mean, you know, I just called it preemptively. Durtho did end up getting it. And this is great, right? Because previously it's been UT Arlington scoring the first goal. Boise State has not only managed to take 2 maps off of UT Arlington, but now we've flipped the script. So in this really important matchup for Boise State, it looks like Boise State is just further and further kind of outplaying UT Arlington right now, which is amazing to see.
Samba elevating up, trying to waterfall it down. Not going to find it there. Boise State hanging on to a very narrow lead of 1-0. We're just nearing halftime here in Game 3.
Boise State is in a very good position, though. They don't have any comfort goals, and 2 minutes and 40 seconds is definitely enough time for UT Arlington to turn it around. But we expect, if UT Arlington can score, we expect Boise State to be able to do the same thing, because these games have been so even. Crossy's going to go ahead and save that, and then Durtho coming in.
What even is that for a save?
I honestly, so I think UT Arlington was the more accurate team in the beginning, but I think that play showcases exactly why they're currently losing to Boise State. That accuracy, as Boise State is learning, I feel like UT Arlington is slipping. This is a matchup they definitely expected to win against Boise State, and why wouldn't they? They won the other 2 times this week. But Boise State is hitting them, and they're not ready for it.
Slight tap from Samba. Now back over to Durtho. Unable to find the goal.
As we go in here, Adverse now has the ball. This is pretty scary for Boise State, but it is in blue territory, transitioning over into orange. Nava and Adverse passing it back and forth. Durtho is there to try to do something about it. Instinct with the big save, though. Durtho with the clear. Adverse is there to block goal. And now it is Nava that gets clear into Boise State side of the field.
Samba trying to answer back. Adverse trying to center. Nava not able to find the goal. Now we're just a little bit over 1 minute, and Boise State could be looking at going to match point here.
Honestly, this is amazing that this has been a 4-minute game and only a single goal has been scored. Both of these teams have been much more defensively minded than they have been in maps in the past. But Boise State's going to get that second one, and with the way the rest of this game has played out, I don't actually know if UT Arlington can get the 3 that they need in 52 seconds.
Yeah, that would be a very tough ask for them. I'm not quite sure that they can actually do it here.
And they've done it in the past, but there's something very different about this map. And I think the biggest thing is, I mean, we mentioned Boise State's accuracy, but I think Boise State's rotations have also been amazing. Right as UT Arlington's are lacking. Samba got there just barely too fast, kind of like misinterpreted the momentum of the ball and gave Boise State another point.
Adverse and Nava moving up the field slightly. Off towards Samba. Boise State hasn't managed to steal it away from them. There's the play from Gill, though, that they were looking for. As long as they get control and run out the timer, just 15 seconds left. And I think Boise State is looking at a win here.
UT Arlington, it's pretty safe to say that they're going to lose this match. But Boise State has won the 2 before this. So UT Arlington, the biggest battle that they're going to be facing right now is the mental battle, right? The mental battle of the loss to a team that you were expecting to win against. Boise State is defying UT Arlington's expectations right now, and I think the more that they do that, the more unprepared UT Arlington seems to be for it. I think tonight it seemed like a hot take at the beginning of the night that Boise State was going to be able to win this because we have been reverse swept by them, so it's not completely out of the realm of possibility, but I think tonight's the night.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that, and if there's anything to go by the way things have been in the past, I would say Boise State, they can't get complacent because this is a team that's beaten them,
Definitely.
but I'm very optimistic looking forward here, and to get back-to-back wins would be so great for the Broncos, would really help them in making sure that they can be the top 8 team and move on to Harrisburg. Let's find out how it turns out.
No complacency, only optimism. Even as UT Arlington wins the first 50-50, Atros is going to pass it to Nava, but that's almost a Durtho with the clear, and there is somebody in the goal to stop him there. Now things are kind of resetting, bouncing back and forth between the two teams.
Yeah, they were really putting the pressure on to Durtho there at the beginning, demoed him right as the game started, but now he's back and he's looking for a goal. He's trying to set it up. I don't know if I've quite seen some dribbling there off the ceiling.
Only Durtho can get that high, that fast.
Yeah.
That's the fantastic. Dribbling off the ceiling, valid strategy.
I don't care if we win anymore. That was just fun to watch.
Bounce, bounce.
Okay, still watching here for the first goal from the Broncos. The Mavericks are going to deny it to them. Samba trying to clear. Durtho answers it back. It's just going to head over to the far corner where Instinct is waiting. Back to Gill in mid, and it's way too high to be able to get a goal there. Durtho's going to try to take a shot, but it's wide, and the Broncos still looking.
There's something very different about it. Well, there's something that's more reminiscent of last map than the 2 before that. And that's Boise State is the primary aggressor in the beginning half of this game. We've taken it from UT Arlington, and so I actually expect this map to not be as close as the first 2, because, I mean, even as we're in the Boise State goal zone, right, I do think Boise State is much more aggressive than UT Arlington. There it is!
There goes
And
Gill.
there's our first Boise State goal, and I think one of the most important goals of the series, because this has proved not only to Boise State and UT Arlington, but to everybody watching that Boise State, it's likely we can do this. If this game goes anything like last map, Boise State first goal is a really big deal.
Gill is moving on up, followed by Durtho. They're still in the corner and unable to center. Instinct tries to go up against that first, but they're just going to be a lot of fighting in mid. And watch out for this bomber. Almost scoring.
Durtho was ready for it, though. Right place, right time is immediately going to take that back, and Instinct isn't taking that for granted. Going to get that clear there, pass it to Gill, but 3 members are in the goal, so I'm not quite sure if Boise State can actually get this goal right now. They don't. UT Arlington gets the clear. Now Boise State is on the defense. No, we're on the offensive. There's nobody there. Oh, Adverse is just barely there to stop. He's faster than I could see.
Yeah, of course Adverse is there. I mean, he has been the one to give us the most heart attacks there. It almost looked like it was open there.
It's open
I've got
there. There it is, the demo the ball going through the smoke of the demolition. That's what we love to see. UT Arlington, as this clock ticks down, so theoretically, it's probable to get 2 goals in 2 minutes, right? That is theoretically possible. But they haven't been able to do that against Boise State in these past 2 matches. And I mean, right as I say that.
Yeah, of course. I'm still going to see how this turns out, though. The Mavericks have definitely proven that they can be a team that can rally. They still have the time for it. 2 minutes to make 3 goals is not too much to ask for any team. Boise State has faced a 3-goal deficit before, and they've evened it up. So the question is, can the Mavericks do it as well? At first with a shot on goal, that's the first start.
There it is. So there's the spark of the flame. These next 46 seconds, if UT Arlington can get another goal in the next 44 seconds, it's winnable. If they can't, it's not.
The spark of the potential blaze, you mean?
Gill is just barely going to take that off at Boise State, and Boise State needs to get the clear. The longer it sits here, the worse Boise State's odds are. We need to get a clear, and it looks like Durtho is trying to do exactly that.
No, he isn't.
While Gill is still in the goal. Samba's now the one with the Durtho, or Instinct kind of gets the clear a little bit. Adverse doesn't have a clear shot. Gill back in that goal, being the hero we need, and there it is. I think that's the Boise State clear.
The hero we need, and for once, the hero we deserve for Gill. Now moving back to the field to defend, though. Ooh, just barely can Gill clear it again. He can.
That was Instinct 2v1 defending the goal. Samba almost scored on themselves there. Now Boise State, we do have some members on the defensive, but we need to get this clear. We can't let UT Arlington set up, and Durtho's trying exactly that. But sends it right to Nava, but a little bit of a miscommunication there has Adverse actually sending it back over to the blue.
Off to the side. Keep this moving. Oh, Demo right in midfield, right onto Gill. Can the Broncos maintain their composure and not be scored on right now? This would be for the win against the team that's beaten them 2 times already. It's just 15 seconds, and the Broncos, one clear here is going to do it, and Durtho has control of it, and as long as he can keep control of it, the Broncos should be able to win here. I think they have indeed done it. The Broncos winning the game against UT Arlington. It doesn't matter if it's scored now. It's good for the Broncos, and a 4-0 win, one of the most spectacular 4-0s I've ever seen.
And exactly what we were looking for tonight, right? Yep. I mean, this was super close. This was by no means a roll, right? And I mean, but Boise State got better and better every single map that they played.
Definitely.
And now, because we've beaten them, now we've shown that we can do it and that we deserve to be in the higher echelons of the HUE Fest, and we're ready to roll with that.
All righty. Well, do you have any, I know you just kind of gave them, but do you have any additional final thoughts before we close out the night?
Boise State should be very proud of the way that they mentally reset and learned during the game, because that was not something that our opponents were able to do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think you all definitely saw that in the fight that they had earlier, against Drexel. I mean, Drexel looked like they were going to rally, but Boise State managed to find what they needed to win, and what a win it was. 2 wins for tonight for the Broncos. So we'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. That's going to do it to us. Congratulations to the Broncos, and enjoy your top 5 plays. I know, and it has been 3 goals that has mainly been the one that teams have shown that they can make up. So anything more than 3 goals, now Boise State is at it.
I mean, you know, we're just going to keep going. Boise State is back on their aggressive play style, right? It's what they're good at. And especially when you read...
There's probably a few more in there that the game just didn't credit him with. But look at Durtho. Oh, it's Instinct who goes. Durtho with the follow-up, trying to sink it in.
There
What an angle!
Boise State tying it up in 1 minute and 38 seconds. These goals have taken a long time. Much, much longer than the previous maps that we've seen here
in
tonight.
The corners that are just picture perfect that you love to see. Barron, though, is going to put a damper on Boise State's enthusiasm, equalizing it immediately.
So this game is definitely going much better for Drexel than before. Hopefully we're not going to see Boise State fall into the trap that you talked to Durtho about, which is teams having an explosive start.
I wanted to see.
If you're Drexel, you get more uncomfortable with every second that passes. There it is! There's the hat-trick! There's the Durtho hat-trick. Now everybody's done one. There it is. Ask and you shall receive there, Jem.
He needed to prove himself.
Exactly. It is not time to relax if you're Boise State, because Drexel gets better the longer.
Downtown
The hat trick! There it is! Okay, now you can relax a little bit. To be honest, a goal in a minute is kind of a tough